The entire Giza plateau is littered with millions of stones with machine cuts. Look at this basalt stone. Basalt is the hardest stone in nature. And suddenly you see a flat cut. That can only be done by a machine, not by soft copper bars. They're too soft. They're too imprecise. This is how a machine operates. It makes one large flat cut. Don't take my word for it. Listen to Yosef, Egyptian stonemason and guide, as he discovers their round circular saw marks.
We can see definitely that the lines are continuous and they are circular. And from this edge over here, you will realize how thick the blade was. In that little curve over here, 4 or 5 millimeters thick.
Yeah, the circular.
Yeah, but that would be a very giant one to complete this.
My evidence points to the fact that dynastic Egyptians, a primitive culture, facing starvation and famine every other year, did not have 100,000 excess slaves and could not feed them even if they had these excess bodies. And on top of that, they didn't have the technology. They had copper bars with stone pounders.
On the side here, we can see, yeah, the part that broke after cutting this with a saw. All I can see here is tool marks that has nothing to do with the toolbox of the dynastic Egyptians that made this.
So who made these monuments? Egyptology will not tell you the truth. They are not stonemasons, they're not geologists, and they're not scientists. Just because you find a little statue inside of a pyramid, a certain pharaoh doesn't date the entire structure. We can't have an honest conversation with Egyptologists because they lose their jobs and they can't get published. So they don't want to talk to you about the straight cuts and the flat cuts and the megalithic stones. Who built these things? They were done before the last ice age 13,000 years ago, called the Younger Dryas. The Egyptian priests told Solon in 600 BC that they were over 20,000 years ago built by the first men. If this is what the Egyptian priests said in 600 BC, shouldn't we believe those were the last Egyptians? Modern Egyptians are Arabs, and before the last ice age, they were probably black people. So we don't know exactly the race or the color of the skin of the people who made it, and it doesn't matter. We're talking about which civilization had the technology to make these machine cuts. And it wasn't until modern times we could do that. Therefore, it had to be another civilization unknown to us before the last ice age.